Okay, now we're in another data set, and I'm going to go to the picking multi-panel profile display, offset plane, the second one. And as you can see, I've been playing around with this survey for a while. This is a difficult data set. And I have already selected several panels. Again, to do this, you can do it like so. And this is, so if I did 3 at 5,000 separation, I could just do 3 like so and fill in some of these in between some of these lines. Or I can do them at angles, doesn't matter. And again, I'm going to cancel this. So now I have multiple panels, and I can change the number of panels I have here under plot count. So right now I have 4, and let's do 5. And I'm going to, these headers here take up a lot of space, so I'm going to get rid of these. I always do. I think this should be the default, but we haven't gotten there yet. And so I have 5 panels, and they're color coded. And now I want to select 5 of these lines to go into these slots, 5 of these profiles. And all you do is you move your mouse close to one and you type the number 1 for the first one. And then I'm going to type, let's say 2 here. So you can see traces filling in there. Let's do 3. Let's do 4. And then I'll do one of these cross lines here. Let's do 5. Now, my offset bins, this is a little bit differently oriented than the other one, than the single one. So let's do 1,000 to 1,050. Takes a little bit because it's bringing in a lot of traces from both of these panels, all 5 of these panels. Okay, so now I have my displays up, and as you can see, I've got lots of traces in all 5 panels. Now I need to go over to my funnel here, and one of the problems with this, we haven't gotten to this yet. We just created this window the other day, and the program remembers all of the flows that you've created, but it turns them all on. And right now I have display delay time shifts and apply LMO trend, which are pretty much I want to do one or the other, but not both. So I'm going to turn off my LMO trend for now. And so now let's zoom in on one of these. And as you can see, these are tough data. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to see if these data tend to have an azimuthal behavior to them. So I'm going to go to my, let's see, where is it here? Under azimuth selection. And I'm going to azimuth limit. Oh, and here's one of those places where I mentioned before, you want to make sure your axis is in the right order. So here I have trace azimuth, which is a nonsensical default. So I'm going to go to trace CDPX. Now we're much better oriented. Okay, so it looked like pure chaos before. Let me turn off the selection here, and I'll show you what we have to begin with. So it's not so bad in this orientation ordered by here. But you can see here, for example, this looks rather chaotic and difficult to see through. So let's see if by changing the azimuth range, we can improve things there. And let's add an AGC here. And let's turn this down a little bit. And let's have a look in this area here. Okay, well, maybe the gain was in this here. I'll back off on that a little bit. And now let's go back to my azimuth selection and then have a look at see if there's an orientation that seems to make sense here. This is my problem zone right in here. I just don't see much coming through here. So I'm hoping that if by looking at the orientation here, I can see places that I need to pick. Because it's very difficult, as you can see, very noisy through here. And this looks pretty good right there. And I have a feel like this is maybe where I'm supposed to be here. I don't like these guys here, so let me kill these right now. I'm not real confident in any of these right now. I'd rather have nothing than bad information. As you can see down here, everything's looking pretty good. And the other thing too is sometimes, like for example, I have a delay time solution applied right now here, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job on this offset range, this offset here. In other words, they're getting close to 0. Let me lock in here. As you can see, this here, a perfect solution would be on 0. As you can see, it's doing a pretty good job here. But in here, it's not. I'm not even close. So I need to. So sometimes you want to turn off the delay times because a bad delay time solution might line up the wrong things. And let me change my. Let me change this to be 500 or so I can center this better. And so, again, you can see here I'm fine, but here I'm just still not seeing it. I can pick through this part, no problem. And it does look like I want to be up here someplace. Okay, but again, this is my problem zone. But as you can imagine, on a shot window, this would be almost impossible. Let me bring up a picking window, though. I'll bring up a pick window. And let me bring this to shot plane. And then I'll go to multi here, and then I'll do a control click. And let's just see if this event here is the event I want. Let's see if the shot helps us at all. So I'm going to push escape here, like I did in the previous part of this demo. And let's have a look and see what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at offset orientation here, so I want to go azimuth. I want to, well, let me just turn off the display all traces here, and let's display it by, let's go to here and do sort. And you can see that at this offset range, I'm losing. I have very little signal over here. I have much better signal in this direction, but in this direction things are pretty chaotic. So but the point is, I'm not trying to show you how to pick this whole survey. The thing is that you have ways of looking at data that you've never seen before. Here's an area here which is kind of interesting, where it looks like there's another event here. We can look at this in orientation. So if we go back over to here, azimuth selection, we can look, and you can see that second event disappears down in here, this event here, in certain directions. I can look in one direction if I want, and if I want, I can open that up a little bit wider and steer it some more, and make picks in this mode. Like over here, it looks like I picked the wrong event there. You want to be really careful. You want to make sure that all your picks in a problem area where you're going to have only a few picks, you want to make sure they're as good as they can be, because a few mispicks in an area where you don't have many picks can really cause problems. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for now, and encourage you to play with this. This is a very powerful way of picking first breaks, and I think it's the most powerful thing we have in flat irons. Thank you very much.